That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Lannister, King in the North. So we're King Tyon of the North. Our home is in Winterfell. We are the grandson of Lord Paramount Eddard Stark and also Kevin Lannister. We are the son of Lady Sansa and Sir Martin of Quebec. And Lady Sansa is a spry 34 years old. Her 16-year-old son. That means that she had him when she was 18. So fairly young. And she's still fairly young. And our father's also still alive. He is currently in Quebec, which I assume is part of Castamere, because his liege is a part of Castamere. And then our mother is obviously in his court, and we are alone in the north as a 16-year-old squire. And so there's a little bit of a challenge here. The reason I decided I was going to switch over to this new character from Cersei is just to give us a little bit of a different challenge. Cersei is certainly an interesting character, and I had a lot of fun playing as her for, nearly 10 episodes. And we had a good opportunity as Cersei to cause some havoc in Westeros. And part of that havoc was creating a Lannister king in the north. And so I think we will continue Cersei's ambitions to put a Lannister on the Iron Throne and also in the Stormlands, and potentially in all of the Seven Kingdoms. But I felt like it would be a lot of fun to play in the north, and without doing the traditional, Robb Stark, Clash of Kings start, or doing the Eddard Stark in either Robert's Rebellion or the Crown Stag bookmark, which those are pretty common. You see those a lot. Instead, I wanted to see how it would be if we could play as kind of an enemy, kind of an outsider of sorts in the north. And we had the perfect opportunity with this playthrough. The situations kind of aligned themselves where we, very early on, we married Sansa to a Lannister, and she produced a baby Lannister, and so with claims on the north. And then kind of the situation lined up with Rickon Stark being on the throne in the north, and the north remaining independent. And now we're to this point where we have a Lannister sitting on the Winter Throne in the north. And so, I was really excited to actually get started with this and switch over to this new character. Let me know what y'all think of this kind of different situation down in the comment section. I'm excited to see what y'all respond to with this. And so, anybody ever notice how Bear Isle looks a lot like Australia? Just like a fraction of the size. Anyways, sorry, I get distracted on occasion. And yeah, so we are King of the North. We have the Riverlands on our side, and Lord Paramount Stefan the Sweet, the grandson of Stevrin Frey, is currently the Lord Paramount in the Riverlands, and that's fine by me for right now. I think more than anything what we need to do is we need to get all this crap taken care of first and foremost. I went ahead and I sent an offer to Cersei Lannister to be wed to Arya Stark to kind of cement my claim on the north. And the next step after that, let's switch over to opinion view. The next step is to improve the opinions of our vassals, because they kind of don't like us. They really don't like us. And for the most part, it's consistent across the board that they don't like us. Other than, here in Moat Cailin, where I'm sure we, gave them a lordship, and the opinion of the predecessor was very good. So yeah, the I was able to improve Morgan Little's opinion of us because we actually, for some reason, had the lordship of Arendelle in our possession, and I didn't really want it, and I figured I could give it to the High Lord up there to let him decide what to do with it, and also improve his opinion. The problem is we don't have a ton of gold under which to work. That was kind of the nice thing about Cersei and working with Cersei, is the nice thing was we had the opportunity to have tons of gold because of Casterly Rock, and a nice 52 base tax was very, very nice. And so Winterfell's a little smaller in terms of tax size, so we can't just go out dishing out gold and really doing things that way anymore. What we need to do is we need to be more strategic and we need to do a good job of ruling in order to increase people's opinions of us. Now, our stats are not terrible, but they're not great. We do have gregarious, which helps. The problem is we have proud, and I'm sure a lot of the northern lords are ambitious, and so that kind of really kind of decreases their opinion of us a little bit. And then wrath is not good for opinion around, depending on how everything goes. But brave is. So brave actually gives us a really good a good boost. And so all of the baseline stuff is here. We're young. We still have time to grow. We have a lot of opportunities to make that happen. And more than anything, I think if we do a good job of kind of staying in our wheelhouse and not, being a good ruler, I think we can do a good job. I'm gonna kind of take a look around and see if I can set some ultimate goals, like moving forward for this playthrough. But really, the first thing is to get the North on our side, cement our leadership in the North, and take care of all of this stuff. Get married, produce an heir, all that kind of stuff. That'll be first and foremost on the list. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we've managed to clear out a little bit of stuff. We do have a dangerous faction that just kind of began, Lower Crown Authority, which I'm all for. They just instituted Medium Realm Authority, which I didn't begin the laws for, and so that drops the opinion of everybody around me by 10. And so it just kind of made matters worse. I mean, you can see the amount of red now is kind of ridiculous. It's so hard to keep the Northern Lords happy as an outsider, but it's something that we need to do. I'm a little disappointed that our character, before we were able to sit in, took the hunting focus, which is, it is what it is, but I will say it'll help in terms of making friends, because we can all go on hunts, and that'll kind of improve everybody's opinion of me a little bit. We are officially married to Arya, and so we will hopefully be able to turn our child into... I didn't know she had Longclaw. Maybe I did know that. I think I did know that. Hopefully she'll help, give us an heir, and we'll be able to move forward with that. So that's currently where we're at. I'm going to invite a bunch of Northern Lords to go hunting. We'll see if we can make something happen with that. Okay, the hunt was totally not a success. Didn't make anything happen. Let's do a feast instead. All the vassals should be there. I bet a bunch of them are going to reject because they just kind of hate me. We'll call it my coronation. I will spend lavishly on food. I have just barely enough to do it. Yeah. That's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. 5 of the Northern Lords won't do it. Not good enough. I don't have enough gold to afford it, so I'm not gonna dip down into debt because of it. We have a new King of the Iron Isles, the blue-haired son of Euron Greyjoy. Wow. He's a gray eminence. Has really good diplomacy. Good for him. Good for him. He's married to a good brother girl who is gluttonous, proud, chaste, and wroth. None of those are good things. She has really crappy stats. Good for him. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's continue on with our feast. See if we can come out with some better relationships than what we had. Hopefully they don't, like red wedding us. You committed such much gold to this extravagant feast. In particular, the guests were impressed with the large centerpieces on the dais of the table. It represented a green lawn surrounded with large peacock's feathers and green branches, to which were tied violets and other sweet-smelling flowers. In the middle of this fortress was placed. In the middle of this, a fortress was placed, covered with silver. The fortress was hollow, and formed a sort of cage in which several live birds were shut up, their tufts and feet being gilt. On its tower, which was gilt, the banners of House Lannister were placed. It was worth the coin. Interesting. He's your attendant to the feast, Lady Osha Crowell, to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Roose Bolton made an attempt on her life. This is kind of the opposite of what I really wanted. I don't want Roose to be mad. Great. I think... I don't know that I want to gain the trait arbitrary. I don't know that I want the chance. I'm going to have him compensate her. I did make a friend, but it's Sept and Maribald, who, let's face it, it's not super important to me right now. Good. Small opinion boost. And small opinion boost. That's good. Let's see. I mean, that helped a little bit, but we still have a long way to go. Roose Bolton needs a little bit of a boost. He's mad at me for 5 years. Man. Okay. Well, hopefully we can make it so that we can lower Crown Authority, and that'll help with the opinions around us. See if we can make that happen. Check it out. Arya's pregnant. That's a good start. Good start. Able to just begin producing children. I can dig it. Because, what? Oh, I had a brother. Sansa had another child. Well, that's good. That'll actually help, because I didn't have an heir, and my heir was actually Sansa. And so Sansa being an heir was a negative influence on here. I'll go compete in the tournament. Maybe that'll improve my vassals' opinions of me. So not having a female heir helps a little bit. But I need to figure out a way to decrease Crown Authority. Because I wish they would go ahead and just say, like, do this or else we'll declare war. And I'll be like, oh, totally, I'll do that. Yeah, totally. That sounds like a very, very, a good request. I can get behind that. Maybe. And, pretend like I didn't know it was coming. And that'll hopefully help fix the opinion modifiers of all of my northern vassals. But we'll have to see. In the meantime, I think I'm going to compete in this tournament and see if there's any way we can, make good on some promises to improve opinions around me. I shall ready my horse. Oh, and now I'm stressed. And I lost already. I told you I'm not a good fighter. That's okay. What? I don't think so. I don't care. Lance Lannister, who was imprisoned by Cersei, is demanding a trial by combat and wants me to be his champion? I don't think so, dude. I don't care. We're staying on Cersei's side. Look, Ryan Forrester is disfigured. If you've never played the Telltale series, Ethan with his beard, if you've never played the Telltale series, you absolutely need to. It's fantastic. And more than anything, it's you'll have a greater appreciation for these characters. It's good to see that Ryan is the winner of this tournament. And Benjamin's just a courtier. It's interesting. There we go. I was simply passing time in the tournament when I saw two knights argue over honor. I knew straight away that the argument was spurious and the result would be unnecessary bloodshed. I attempted to mediate the dispute, and they told me that at least one of the knights should survive the resulting duel. Wow. Tournaments are ridiculous. I can't believe I lost one diplomacy from that. Good. Keep the prosperity increasing. The tax modifier keeps going up, and I can appreciate that. I think one of the things that we're going to start doing in this playthrough, man, this is going to, like, Roose Bolton's going to eventually try to off me. I know it. I just know it. I'll order him to stand down. One of the things that we're going to start doing in this playthrough is we're going to actually do some building in Winterfell. Because Winterfell is kind of low on the totem pole in terms of tax modifiers, we're going to start out, we're going to build castle towns and private farms. We'll probably hit private farms first. I think we do have we have a mild winter going, so it may not be the best time to step in and do that. We'll probably just kind of amass our gold and get ready for that once winter ends. But Castletown's going to be a big one if we have enough gold. If not, private farms is the first step, and increasing those and then getting the ones that they require, because they do require other buildings to be built in the meantime. And getting those levels up will actually really increase the amount of gold that Winterfell is able to bring in. And then we can start improving defenses and all that kind of stuff in order to make Winterfell more of an imperious castle. Honey, give it one more chance.